Welcome to Titanic Honor and Glory. This is version 1.4.2 of the 4th demo. Before we get started, I just wanted to say I hope you liked the intro that I made. I'm really proud of it. And fun fact, that whistle that you hear at the tail end of the intro, that is the actual Titanic's whistle. It was salvaged from the wreck site. And there's a video online that I actually got the sound from. I'll post that in the description so you can go check it out, watch that video. So for those of you who don't know what this is, Titanic Honor and Glory is a game that's being made by a relatively small group of Titanic enthusiasts, but they're also working with like a ton of Titanic historians, and their number one priority is accuracy. The goal of the game is when it's finished, you will have 100% access to the entirety of Titanic. Every room, every closet, every cabin, everything. Everything will be explorable, and eventually there will be a real-time syncing as well, so you can experience that. And yeah, we're gonna take a look around right now and just, I don't know, have a good time, I guess. I don't know. We're going to explore the demo. There's two ways to do this. You can either do it through the day or through the night. I'm going to do it through the day for now, and if enough people say they want it, I'll do part 2 where I'll go through and show the night settings. But for right now, we'll go through the day, and you also get the option of boarding first, second, or third class. I'm going to do first class and start off there, so let's do that. Okay, here we are. Welcome aboard the Titanic. We are on D deck. Now, this video will have no structure, no set path, or like any kind of like script or anything like that. So don't expect it to be a very cohesive thing. But here we are on D deck, and also, I'm not going to give off facts, pretty much because I've basically learned my lesson from my Britannic videos. And giving off any facts is not really a good idea. So that's just me being petty. But I will tell you where we are on the ship, but that's about it. And also, I'm going to try my best to go as quickly as possible through this. Otherwise, this video is going to be at least an hour long. So I might cut out huge chunks of this. I'm not sure. We're just going to roll with it. And see what happens. And before we even get started, I just want to say I love this couch. I don't care what anybody says. I love this couch. I want this couch. If I had the money and I knew somebody who would commission this, I would absolutely have this couch in my house. Do not judge me. But yeah, with all that being said, let's get started. So yeah, here we are on D deck. Now, D deck is where the good majority of first class passengers would board. And if we come down here, we meet this little stairway down here, which we can go down past one of the iron gates, come down here, round this corner, and then round this corner, and we come to the squash court. This is very cool. They did a few activities down here: squash, fencing, tennis, whatever. I don't know. Not tennis. Maybe not tennis. Let's go back up. All right, now we're back at the stairs. We're going to come down here and then hang a right into the mailroom. Again, I'm going to keep this fairly brief, just to keep the video time down, but yeah. This, to me, seems like a monumental task, getting all these letters sorted out and stuff, especially when you see what's down below. They come down here, all this is filled with mail. all these sacks, I guess this would be called the sack room, only because that's what it is. It's a room full of sacks, right? Mail sacks. So yeah, that being said, let's move up and we'll go through this door, which leads us to a little bit of cargo space. Now, as I stated before, this is version 1.4.2. There will be a 1.5 at some point, but that's not really an update per se. It's gonna be like bug fixes and that sort of thing. But don't expect that anytime soon, because the developers have come out and said as soon as 1.4 is done, that's it. They're going to focus all of their attention on the alpha, which will be coming out relatively soonish. And the alpha is really cool. So when the alpha is first released, it will be just the Forecastle deck. And I believe the Patreons, I'm not sure, some group backers basically will get the Well deck as well. But it'll be Titanic under construction, so you'll get to see like a very, very unfinished version of Titanic as she's being built, which I think is pretty cool. And then once the alpha is fully released, like let's say a bunch of time has passed, then the alpha will be the entirety of B deck. All of B deck will be open for exploration, which is pretty cool. And to think that all of this is being given to us for free, like you guys, the team who is making Honor and Glory, you guys are incredible. You've done so much stuff for us, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I can't speak for everybody because, you know, let's just be honest, some people suck. But I mean, yeah, I'm letting you know that I appreciate everything that you've done for us. Anyway, let's talk about the ship, shall we? So yeah, here we are on D deck, and this is roughly the area where a passenger, I can't remember her name, but a passenger overheard E.J. Smith and Bruce Ismay talking about lighting the final boilers and getting to New York ahead of schedule. And you can actually see her in Cameron's film. If you watch that scene and you look directly behind Bruce Ismay, you can see a passenger sat just behind him, and you can see her kind of perk up and look at them, and you can tell she's listening to them. And it's cool that they added that little detail into the movie. So yeah. If we move back through these doors here, we come to the first class dining saloon. And we've seen this before in other demos, but now, I mean, we can come all the way back here. By the way, yeah, they added a sprint feature, so now you can, like, zip around Titanic at, like, Mach 2. But yeah, so, I mean, this is incredible work. This is incredible. And what blows my mind is this is still just the demo. This isn't even the real thing. This... what you're seeing right now was actually just a developer's build. It was never supposed to be seen by the public. It was never supposed to be played by us. But long story short, what happened was they ended up deciding to give this to us. So they spent a few months optimizing it and making changes and basically bringing it up to snuff, making it playable for us. And what's crazy to me is this isn't even like, this is the demo, right? This is the demo, and not only is it a demo, it is being run through Unreal Engine 4. And what they're going to do is, I don't think they're going to be using any of these assets. I think they're rebuilding everything from the ground up, but they're going to be doing that in Unreal Engine 5. And I've seen Unreal 5 firsthand, and I know what it's capable of, and my god, when I tell you get excited, if this excites you, get real excited, because once this is on Unreal 5, you're not going to be able to tell the difference between what's real life and what's a video game. It's going to look like you're actually on Titanic, especially in VR. Oh my god. But yeah, enough about that. So... This is the dining room, the dining saloon, first class. Check out all of this detail work. Like, you can just see all of the wood carvings and stuff, and just their attention to detail is very commendable. Like I said, this is a little bit of hyperbole, but like, you know, take this wood pattern and the grain, you know, the wood grain pattern, I should say. Chances are, if it looks like this, then it was really on the ship. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but not by much. They're making sure that every single rivet, every single detail, like, they're making sure every little thing is as accurate as possible, which is very, very impressive. But over here, we've got the captain's table. And over here, we've got a table where a few fictional characters had dinner with a few real-life characters in Titanic. James Cameron's Titanic. The movie that needlessly had a villain. Why did Titanic need a villain? Why is Billy Zane a cartoon character? I don't... Whatever. So that's it. Let's go ahead and move down to E deck, and then eventually down to F deck. Here we are at the bottom of the grand staircase, and just look at this lighting. Unreal Engine is great when it comes to lighting, and it's even better in Unreal 5. So, I'm just telling you, man, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. But we have to do it. We have to come over here and look up. What an awesome sight that is. Now, I wonder how many passengers actually did this, if any of them did it at all. I would assume that at least a few did it, right? Like, you'd have to, right? Who knows? If we come back over here, it's just some cabin spaces. And the bottom of the lifts. This is as far down as the lifts go on Titanic. And if we come back over here, ignoring this door right here, we'll come down to F deck. Now, F deck is cool. Not much going on over here in this demo. Just some cabin spaces and stuff. Well, maybe not cabin spaces. Maybe I'm not sure. I'm doing all this from memory. I don't have deck plans or anything in front of me. But if we come over here, we come to the Turkish bath. One of the most well-preserved rooms on the entire shipwreck. So yeah, this is a really cool room. I like this room a lot. You know, I like the feel of it. I like the aesthetic. This over here, that was a scale. But if we come back here, we come to a dead man. This man has been dead since Demo 1. All the way back in like 1993 when we first got Demo 1. I'm kidding, by the way. I'm just giving them a hard time. It's the chances are remote that any Honor and Glory dev is watching this, but if you are, you know, I'm just kidding. This is the electric bath, and as far as I know, the electric bath, from what I've read, it sends like electrical currents through your body and stuff like that. Like, that's like a very, very vague description of what it does, but they believed it had like massive health benefits and stuff. So, you know, hey, all the power to them. Now, these rooms, there's a couple of these rooms over here, and these rooms, I don't want to alarm anybody, but, well, this is where they took the dead bodies. You know, all the people who have died from this thing over here. This is where they would keep the bodies, they would clean them up and stuff. This is the sink where they would drain all of the fluids and everything like that. And then this over here, we'll talk about this in a second. But there's two rooms. You'd think there'd be more because, you know, people always be dying on Titanic. So, you know, I would think there'd be more. But anyway, moving on. I'm kidding, by the way. Oh, God. Please don't think I'm serious. But here we are in one of the other Turkish baths. But if we move over here, we come through this door, and we're met with Titanic's swimming bath. Not as nice as what Britannic's would have been had she seen passenger liner life. But hey, you know what? It's functional. It does the job. You want a swimming pool? Well, you got one. Here it is, a bunch of changing rooms and stuff, and we're back to these things. So I said I'd tell you what they are, and this is what they are. These are actually torture devices. So there's a section of gate that's removable that they would clamp onto here, and then once you're inside, a bunch of metal spikes would then jut out from different various points in this cage system, and they would stab into you. And then this spout would then rain down citric acid onto you. Now, why citric acid? Well, that's because it's annoying. But also, it's very painful, you know, with the stabbing and such. And then down here, there's a little drain for all of the blood and the acid and all that stuff. So, yeah. Again, I'm kidding. They're just showers. That's all they are. They're just showers. All right, let's move back out, and we'll go up a couple decks. Alright, here we are back on D deck. We're gonna stop for just a brief second to admire the candelabra. It's mandatory. You have to admire it. Say, hello, candelabra. Okay, now we can move up to C deck. Now, here is C deck, and C deck has the first class purser's office. And the purser's office has a few functions. I'm going to give you one example of the things that you can do at the purser's office. You could rent a deck chair, all right? That's about as much facts as I am willing to to say I know, because God forbid I get anything wrong. But yeah, that's about it for this area, but we can come over here forward of the grand staircase, and cabin C8 is open. We can come in here and take a look at this. Pretty neat, pretty neat. I'm not sure exactly what cabin this is. I mean, I know the nomenclature of it, but like, I'm not sure whose cabin this was. It may have been a steward's cabin, but again, don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure. I'm doing all this just kind of off the cuff from memory and all that stuff. But it has a nice little view of like the forward well deck, and you can kind of see the forecastle up there, the forward mast. Or is it forecastle? It's spelled forecastle, but people call it a forecastle. I like to call it a forecastle only because it sounds cooler. All right, here we are back in the this area. If we come to this side of the corridor, so come down and stop at this door and open it, you come to the Strauss Suite. Very beautiful room, very beautiful lighting, and the furniture is nice, and I love this room. I mean, who wouldn't, right? Who wouldn't like this room? I'm sure a few people wouldn't. But just like, if I stop anywhere, here's the thing with Honor and Glory, right? Anywhere you stop and just kind of sit still and look at it, it looks like a photograph. It looks like a picture. And that's crazy. And it's still, again, this is just a rinky-dink demo, not the final product. Not at all a representation of the final game. It's only going to get better, and that blows my mind to think that, you know, this is still like to be not ported, but like for the sake of, you know, simplicity's sake, you know, ported over to Unreal 5. This is I'm so excited for this. Back here's the bathroom. We've got a toilet, we've got a white starline mat, a tub, you know, pretty standard things for a bathroom. Some nice white star sheets. Yeah, I like this area. I like this room. If we come back here, we can kind of get some glimpses into some first class cabins. A few of these are open. But if we come back even further, I don't know how far down it is. Is it you? Is it this corridor? There's a couple cabins that are open. Yes, it's these. So you get a nice little peek into this one right here. However, if we come right next door, this one's open. So here you go. This is an example of a first-class cabin on Titanic. Now, there's a common misconception, you know, everybody kind of thinks that Titanic was like the epitome of luxury, and there's marble and gold and silk everywhere, you know, and I'm not saying Titanic's not nice, but I am saying it's not as opulent as you would think. Like, these floors are linoleum. And yes, at the time, linoleum was like the new thing. You know, it was the new technology, so it was considered the you know, the creme de la creme, the top of the top. But yeah, this is all linoleum and stuff like that. And the truth is, Titanic was kind of standard for the time. Yes, she is nice. She is a nice ship. She is a great ship. However, most of her aesthetics and just the general feel of it is kind of standard. You would see a lot of this on other ships of the same time period. Anyway, over here is a linen closet. It's stated by saying linen up there, making me not a liar for once. So, you know, hey, victory for me. Coming down even further aft, we are met with the aft grand staircase. And yes, I am saying grand staircase, even though it's the aft grand staircase. Apparently there's a debate whether or not you call it the grand staircase or not, but I think it is just as grand as the forward grand staircase, if you ask me. We can come over here and look up. It's an amazing sight. This is so pretty. And there's chairs here, so, you know, they had to have known what they're doing, right? If you come here, sit here, and just kind of chilling out, maybe waiting for the barber to be done. Just sit there and just look up and just, yeah. It's an awesome visual, and I'm a sucker for this kind of thing. Like what you're looking at right now, there are no pictures that exist of this. Like this specific angle, this specific shot. So for all intents and purposes, we're the first people to ever see this as is. So that's really cool. I appreciate the game for those opportunities. But yeah, over here's the barbershop. Pretty neat. We will continue on starboard side and go further aft. And we come to this little area here. We're not going to worry about that right now. Instead, we're going to turn left, open this door, and then we're going to enter in Titanic's hospital area. One thing I wanted to show off real quick is this. These railings have no collision, which I find funny, but I'm very easily amused. So anyway, if we come over here, we come to Titanic's padded room. And this was pretty standard on most, if not all, passenger liners of the time. And yeah, they had a padded room. Now, there was a sequence of events that led to being in the padded room. Like, they wouldn't just be like, oh, you're unruly, we're gonna throw you in here. Like, no, like, first, and I'm just throwing out locations, but like, say, first they lock you up on the bridge, or then they lock you up in the Master-at-Arms room, you know. Basically, what I'm saying is that there's a sequence of events. This is the last resort. If you are put in this room, things are not going well for anybody involved. But thankfully, I don't think Titanic ever had to use hers. If we come over here, we enter into the infectious hospital area. As said there. See? Again, not a liar. Back here is just a couple, you know, rooms. Not much really to see here. So we can go up and then turn left onto that area that I said we would go before. Here we are on the enclosed promenade area. This is a second class space. And if I turn right, we're met with the second class stairway. This is the forward second class stairway. And it's just a gorgeous, beautiful area. Again, look at the lighting. Like, look at this. Does this not look real? Does this not look like like it could be a picture, or at the very least, like you're standing here looking at this? It is beautiful, gorgeous. Another thing that I appreciate that the Unreal Engine does is pay attention to the lighting. Like, if you look through the door right now, it's nice and dark in there. I walk in here, it brightens up. It's like your eyes are adjusting to the different lights. And Unreal does that to mimic like the real human eye. And I think it's really cool. By the way, these fleur-de-lis tiles are everywhere on the ship. Everywhere. And of course, they are littering the ocean floor. But I've seen a few in person. And I'll throw that picture up on the screen right now. And that's what they look like. Pretty cool. By the way, Titanic Honor and Glory, on their website, I believe they still do it. But they used to sell 3D printed tiles that you could buy from their store, so go check that out. They've got some cool stuff, along with 3D printed Titanic models. But it's not just Titanic, they've got Olympic, Britannic, they also have Britannic in her hospital, and RMS liner colors, but they also have other ships too, so, you know. I'm not affiliated with them. This is not sponsored or anything. It's just I really appreciate what they've got, what they're giving us, and all that stuff. So I'm gonna plug them because why not? Anyway, if we come over here, the lift is open. So for the first time in Titanic Honor and Glory history, we are inside one of the lift cars. Now it's not the grand staircase area lifts, but hey, it's a lift nonetheless, right? Yeah, so I think that's pretty cool. If we go through either one of these doors, this one or that one, we will come into the second-class biblioteca, the library. We got a letter here. Oh my god, you can actually read it. Wow. That's cool. Hey, if you want to read it, go ahead and pause it right there, and you can read that. But yeah, this is the library. It's a very nice space. This is one of the areas that was opened up to us for Demo 4. Over here you can see the bookshelf and all the books back there. And yes, that is how you pronounce that, is book. The bloomin' books. But if we move back, boom, we run directly into the aft mast. That's what that thing is. But here we are in the, I'm going to call it the rear second class stairwell. And over here is the piano. And this is actually one of the spots where the orchestra would play. And on Titanic, the orchestra had a set schedule and a set list of locations. So if you knew the when and where, you could go and watch the band play. So that's pretty cool. So yeah. If I come out this is now a third class space. We are on the aft well deck. And looking up, you can see, you know, the rest of the superstructure up there, the funnels, the aft mast and stuff, some deck cranes, cargo hatches 5 and 6. Yeah. I actually like this space on the ship. I think it's very interesting. If I move back here, we've got some green fleur-de-lis tiles for a change-up. But over here on the starboard side is the third class general room. And the third class passengers would come here to do general third class things. You know, talk about general things. Talk about how they were third class passengers. Talk about how stuck up first class was. I'm kidding. But yeah, nice little area. And if we come over here to port side, this is the third class smoking room. And my opinion, I prefer this room over the general room, because even though the third class general room is painted white, which makes it look a little bit more brighter, a little bit bigger, I don't know, I prefer the wood coloring myself. I think this is a cozier looking room. That's just my opinion though. But if we come out and head down, there's not much going on back here because there's an invisible wall that stops us. But we can round this and come back here, and we're now back into a second class area. Just cabins here and stuff, and we've come to the forward second class staircase. And if we go through these doors, we're in the second class dining saloon. And yes, to answer your question, that is a pineapple. Pretty nice area. If you ask my opinion again, I prefer this over the first class dining saloon. You got the piano over here, the piano. And back through here is the forward staircase. Let's actually go up and see what happens there. We're on C deck. We can come up to B deck if we wanted to. Very nicely lit, very pretty. And back through here is the second class smoking room. Now, because of this demo, this very quickly became one of my favorite areas on the entire ship. I love the colorings of it. I like the furniture arrangements. I love the colors of the wood with the greens and the golds everywhere. It's a very nice space. I really enjoy it, and I especially like these little like indented benches. I absolutely, if I was in a position to be in here, I would have sat in one of these. Also, this is really cool. It's set to real time. I guess that's something that they did in one of the most recent updates. They've synced all of the clocks with your system's time. I think that's pretty cool. If we come out, we're out on the deck. And here's the stairway. There's the aft mast. And then we can look down on the third class passengers and be like, you are all peasants! And then look up at first class and realize that we are indeed the ones who are peasants. But then we can look back up another deck higher and be like, hey, that's reserved for second class passengers. What am I talking about? Oh my god, okay, let's get back to the ship. If we come through this door that you see open here, this leads us to the Cafe Parisien. Parisian? However you say Parisian. One of the coolest parts of the ship. I really love the lattice work on the ceiling there. Yeah, just a nice place to hang out. Meant to mimic the look of France or Paris. Paris. If we come through these doors, we are in the a la carte restaurant, and the a la carte restaurant is interesting because while it is on Titanic, it's not a part of Titanic. And the best way I can think to describe this would be like, think of, I don't know, like a Starbucks inside of a Target, where it's like, yes, it is in a Target, but it is first and foremost a Starbucks, so they don't have to live by Target's rules or regulations or anything like that. So no, you can't use a Target gift card in the Starbucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I think it's interesting. Not a bad place to sit down and have dinner, though. A meal, as it were. If I can, just kind of gush about the lighting one more time. Just look at how the light interacts with the carpet. Look at this. Look how awesome this is. It looks like real carpet. And it blows my mind that this is only gonna get better. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Whoa, did you see that? That was a true nightmare. I'm actually gonna come back here because we did not see the poop deck. And I want to see the poop deck. I want you to see the poop deck. Little rope spool there covered by the canvas cloth. That's what those are, in case anybody's wondering. Some more deck cranes, benches, some capstans, and over here we've got the docking bridge, which we can go up and get a really nice visual of Titanic. Let me zoom in a bit. You get a good look of, like, you know, the veranda and palm court, a veranda cafe. So that's pretty neat. This. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this was a telephone. Yeah. Let's move down and back forward. No flag. They're not flying the flag. That's okay, though. That's alright. Also, so there are accounts of passengers, right? These little, capstan valve wheels. There are accounts of passengers who have said that they have been on ships around the same time frame, similar ships, builds and models, whatnot, who have reported that these were red and not gold, not black, but red. So, hey, do with that information what you will, but there are reports of similar ships having these be red. So hey, you know what? It is what it is. And I am not a Titanic historian, expert, whatever. I'm just a guy who loves the ship. So my word is pretty much useless? Question mark? Anyway, let's go ahead and move up because there's still a lot more to see. Coming up on A deck. Look at that lighting. Look how gorgeous that is. Can't gush enough. And yeah, it's not as quote-unquote grand as the grand staircases, but I think it's equally as pretty, man. Like, you can't deny just how awesome this is. But here we are on the boat deck, and come out here, and now we're on top. You get a nice look at all of the smokestacks or funnels, however you want to call them, lifeboats and all that jazz. And then we can come up here and be like, hey, we're a little bit higher than you, so that makes you the peasants first class and third class, respectively. I'm such an idiot. If we come up here, first off, before we do that, I just wanted to say I've seen one of these deck chairs in person, and I'm going to throw that picture up on screen right now. Pretty cool, pretty cool. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on up. We are now officially on top of the first class smoking room. And look at that. What a sight. Look at the sun going behind the pipe there and stuff. Just, yeah, man, it's so impressive. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for gushing, but I'm not sorry at the same time. This over here, this door leads to the kennel, the dog kennel. there were dogs aboard the Titanic. Did you know that? Yeah, I wish we can go in there. Apparently, one of the developers tried to get this to be accessible for this demo, but they said no. So, oh well, we gotta be patient and wait for the full release. That's okay. We can wait. This over here, this is the dome casing for the aft staircase. This is the casing that goes right over top of the dome, and it's just steel and glass. It's no wonder why it's missing. Well, okay, the back half, all of everything from the compass tower back is just demolished. So I mean, it makes sense that it's gone. But like on the forward part of the ship, you know, where the forward grand staircase is, that casing's gone. The whole grand staircase is gone. It's really a shame, but it is what it is. Let me do a quick little zoom in right here. Do you see these? You see these like pulley-looking assemblies? I learned this from the developer live stream recently. Apparently, these are actually pulleys that when the people who painted the funnels, the smokestacks, they would clip into these and basically rappel down the funnel and paint it. So that's kind of cool. By the way, literally nobody's asking, but I'm going to tell you anyway. The color of these funnels is officially known as White Star Buff. So, there you go. A little bit of information. Is it useless? Yes. Totally. But here we are. No passengers are allowed in this portion of the ship. This is for expansion joints only, and like the firemen and stuff aboard. The expansion joint, if you don't know, they're just little sections of the ship. I believe Titanic had 3, and the long story short is their main purpose is to help the ship flex in water because she's a big ship. This is a little stairway that goes down to the deck below. We're not going to really worry about that right now. Instead, we're going to come over here, and we're going to come up on top of the reading and writing room right now. And here we've got the compass platform. And the reason why it's raised up like this is because it can't be around any kind of metal. Otherwise, it would mess with the compass itself. But we can climb up and get inside the compass platform. Yeah, that's what I apparently wanted to say. The compass platform. Yeah. Pretty cool sight. Yeah. Now we can say we've done that. If we stay on boat deck and keep going forward, we can only go forward until this gate. Because passengers aren't allowed forward of this, and we're not officers, so that makes sense. Alright, let's do what everybody I know is waiting to see. We'll come in here, open this door, and we are met with the grand staircase. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it glorious? If we come down here to A deck and then turn around, just look at that. Isn't that awesome? There's no wonder why this was the focal point of the ship, you know? This is the main center point of the ship. We've got the cherub, and here's a cool little fact about the grand staircases. In the forward grand staircase, you can see that the cherub's uppermost hand is its left hand, but on the aft grand staircase, it's reversed. So it's got the torch and its right hand being held up. So, hey, if you didn't know that, you do now. Here is Honor and Glory Crowning Time, the actual name of this clock, and the namesake of this game. That's what it's named after. Very beautiful, very, very gorgeous wood carvings and stuff. So, we're actually not going to stay on this deck. We're actually going to come down here to A deck for a second. Because I wanted to show off this area here. We come through here. You know what? First, let's not do that. Let's go here, and we can open up this door and come out here onto the promenade. And again, look at this. It gets bright when you're inside, and then as soon as you go out there, the light adjusts. Ah, it's so good. I know some people have complained about that, but not me, man. That is such a cool thing. But yeah, you can do that on both sides. Open up this door and come out here onto the promenade deck. Come out to about here and look pretty much the length of the ship. If we come over here, we can get a peek into this window. This is the reading and writing room. So that's pretty cool. We actually can come back here and get a better look. Until we get a better look when we go inside the room. What am I talking about? Let's go inside and stop being dumb. We can push forward. Turn around, look at the lifts there, yeah. We can push forward, come back through here. And now I'm confused on this as to what these rooms are. There's another side on the starboard side, which is very identical to this. They're both unfurnished, they're both seemingly unused, and I don't know if that's because of the demo or if that's how it was on the real ship. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. The forward mast is kind of missing, isn't it? Isn't it? Look at the forward mast is missing. That's funny to me. If we come over here, we've got a bathroom. Yeah, pretty standard stuff for a bathroom. Over here, is the mast missing still? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Oh, weird. But here's that other room. Back at the grand staircase. Take a second to admire it one more time. God, so pretty. Now we can come through these revolving doors. Stop here, turn right, and come into this room. This is the reading and writing room. That is the official purpose of this room, but as I understand it, it went pretty much largely unused. Most people would do that kind of stuff in the first class lounge there. But it is still a nice room nonetheless, and I love this furniture. I love the combination of blue and yellow. Blue being my favorite color, so of course, you know. But this is a very nice room. We are currently directly beneath the compass platform there. And yeah. Cool little area, cool little area. Again, yeah, I sound like a broken record by this point, but just the lighting! The lighting is so good! It's a big thing to me, but like lighting is the #1 selling point for realism. And if you just look how the lighting is, like look at the roof, how strong the lighting is, and then it very quickly dies out to the point where there's none over there, and it's just, it's so good. It's so good. This room gives like the perfect example of how good lighting can really make or break realism. So let's keep pushing aft into the first class lounge. Now this is mine and a lot of other people's favorite rooms on the Titanic. One of the major changes though between versions 1.3 and 1.4 is the furniture in here. In 1.3, these were really, in my opinion, really nicely, what's the word, embroidered fabrics and stuff. And I'm assuming that this is the more accurate furniture that they've added in, because I mean, yeah, like I said earlier, that is their main goal, is to make everything as accurate as possible. So yes, I am going to go ahead and assume that this is the more accurate furniture. However, I mean, I was a fan of, you know, the way it was before. But coming over here, I love this chandelier. Absolutely love it. And that shot of the poor girl in Cameron's Titanic who is floating by this chandelier, that image is like burned into my memory. But yeah, over here we got another a book case. A bunch of books in there. Yeah, very, very nice space. And I have to do it. You know what I'm doing. If you know Titanic, you know what I'm doing. I have to sit here and do my best to kind of line it up here a little bit. There's a very famous picture of Olympic's first class lounge, and yeah, it's taken at roughly this angle. Hopefully I can match these up well enough. And of course, you know, you can't not do that. You can't not. But yeah, that's what, whatever. You know what, I can't speak. Let's push aft. Let's get away from the FPS vampire there. Push through these revolving doors that do spin, which is highly entertaining to me. And now we can actually come out here back onto the promenade and come to about here. And yeah, now we can look almost the length of the entire ship, roughly the length of the entire ship, both ways. You want to talk about attention to detail? They've even included like the maker's mark in the steel. You know what I'm saying? Just the epitome of attention to detail. Here's that stairway that I was talking about a little bit earlier. It just leads up to boat deck. We're on the aft grand staircase. No honor and glory, just this clock here. But that's fine, you know. Nothing to be ashamed of, Mr. Clock. You are still just as grand. But yeah, there's the cherub holding up the torch in its right hand. So one of the few changes between the aft and the forward staircase, one of which is also, you know, it being a little bit smaller than the forward grand staircase, and also the dome shape. The dome back here is completely circular, whereas the other one is oval. Let's come up to A deck and go through this cabin. Now, this cabin belonged to Francis Brown when he was on the Titanic, and it is signified by his Kodak VP camera here. This is what he used to take a lot of pictures of Titanic with, until he departed in Ireland. And actually, Titanic tried to get him to stay, and he even asked his people if he could stay, but they made him get off. Could it be divine intervention? I'm not sure, but hey, lucky man, right? So if we come out here and come over here to port side to this cabin, this is Thomas Andrews' cabin, and there's a cool if not morbid Easter egg here. His blueprints of the ship are split, and it's split where the Titanic is split in real life, as she split during the sinking. So again, cool, but a little messed up. Pushing back even more, we come to this room. This is the first class smoking room, my second favorite room on the entire ship. I love this room. I love the colors, and yeah, actually I've seen a couple of these tiles in person. I'm gonna throw that picture up on screen right now. So that's what they look like. If you ask me, I think this room looks better at night, but it is still very pretty through the day. And I'm a sucker for stained glass. Anything stained glass, I just love. So, you know, of course I'm going to love this room. If we come over here, we get these really cool, I think they're cool, like crescent couches, I guess. Missing from Cameron's Titanic, but eh. If we look up at the painting, this painting is called Plymouth Harbor. That's the name of this painting right here. And a lot of people get this wrong when they do Titanic recreations. A lot of times it's Olympics painting, which I believe... Oh god, I can't remember the name. It's something like Journey to the New World or something like that. But yeah, this is Plymouth Harbor. And again, very nice space. Just all this elegant details and stuff everywhere. So gorgeous. Oh, real quick, I wanted to mention, we're underneath the fourth smokestack right now, the fourth funnel, and even though it was a dummy funnel, it still served a purpose. It still vented out steam from like the kitchens and smoke from the first class smoking room. And I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that is the vent up there that actually vented out the smoke and stuff through the smokestack. So yeah, dummy funnel, but still worked. Let's push further aft, come through these revolving doors, and we come into the Veranda Cafe. I believe the official name is Veranda and Palm Court, but I've never really been too clear on the official naming of it, because on the blueprints, both rooms, there's this room, there's another room on the other side that's very similar to this one, but both rooms say Veranda and Palm Court. So is that the official name of these rooms? Is this the Veranda and Palm Court? Or like, is this the Veranda Cafe and over there is the Palm Court, or vice versa, or whatever? Let me know in the comments, because that's always kind of confused me. If we come over here, this used to be open in previous demos, but now we can open it. They open and close too. So that's pretty cool. Come back out here onto the deck. And if I stop right about here-ish, you know exactly what I'm doing. We can replicate that famous picture of the boy playing with a spinning top. Taken from roughly this area. Come back over here, so open up these doors, and here we are in the other veranda cafe slash palm court slash the entire name. Nice little area though. Come back out around here, and we can come up roughly about halfway up the ship's promenade deck and stopped by these deck chairs. That's alright, we can come back into the staircase area. And let's go down to B deck. Whoa! Hey! Alright, let's come back down to B deck here. And, yeah, we're back at the Cafe Parisien. Parisien? I don't know how to say that properly. Not much of note pushing forward into these cabins. Nothing's open yet. Demo. Or Alpha, I should say. Alpha. Alpha is when all of this is going to be open. Here we are back at the grand staircase area, and we can actually come over here and open up this door, and we're on one of the private promenades. If you can afford this, then you're doing pretty well for yourself. You're doing pretty well for yourself. Also, this is where a little bit of domestic happens with Billy Zane, you know, Rose, and the unnecessary villain of Titanic. Look, I like the movie. I like the movie fine, but mostly just to look at the ship. I think the rest of it isn't that good, if I'm being totally honest. But, you know, hey, that's neither here nor there. Let's go to the other side, because there is something that I can show you. Come into this private promenade. Let me in, please. Thank you. If we turn here, we come to this cabin. Now, oh, I feel ashamed of myself as a Titanic enthusiast, but this cabin eludes me. Is it one of the staterooms? I think, or a parlor suite? I'm not sure. I don't remember which one it is. But yeah, a very nice area. Nonetheless, let's come back out into the corridors. Push through this with our face. This is as far as we can go, because these doors are closed off to us until the Alpha. But we can turn around and come to the lift. The gate is open! And so now we can finally say that we've been inside Titanic's lifts. Let's see, where haven't we been? Let's push upwards. Let's push upwards. Not much more to see, honestly. So we're doing pretty good. If we come over here, open this door, this would lead to boat deck, but this is closed off to us. But we come into the gymnasium. And you can see a little bit of this is not supposed to be here. Again, demo. But over here we get this nice little bed. Get some of the best sleep you've ever had aboard Titanic. Kidding. We got the speed bag, some bicycles, rowing machines, a Bowflex, the electric camels, torture devices. Yeah, cool stuff in here. Come back in here. Admire this painting for a second. Over here, this leads to boat deck, which we have seen before and come through this door before. So no reason to really stick around. But if we come through, I'm coming on this side. I mean, both sides are open, but expansion joint. If we come around here, take a left, open this door. This is the Marconi wireless room. Now, I've seen a replica of this room built, and all of the pictures that I'm showing were taken at the Titanic Museum in Orlando, Florida. If you're ever in the area and can visit, please do so. It's a good time. They've got a lot of artifacts, a few rooms that are built to emulate Titanic and stuff. It's a fun time. But here's the picture of that room, and for comparison. It's very close, but I mean, I'm going to put my money on this being the more accurate representation of the room, only because of, you know, just the nature of what this game is. Tom Swift and his wireless message. Very cool. This is where they would have sent out the CQDs, the SOSs, and just the shut-ups and other various rude things to say to the Californian. Prompting her to shut off her communications for the night and not being able to save Titanic. Weird how that worked out. Come over here, a little bit of sleeping quarters with the couch and stuff, and the skylight, and this room, which I'm not entirely sure the purpose of, but still cool to see nonetheless. Got this little wire that comes up through this hole up here. Let me come back out. Come back out for a second because I wanted to show this off. This room houses the motors. These are all the motors for the lifts. So that's pretty cool. Got some nice light bleed coming down from the skylight up here. Yeah, I think it's cool to see the lifts, the lift motors and whatnot. If we push further forward, you can see how it's getting super bright. That's because this leads out to the wheelhouse. Hello, wheelhouse. Hello, Brown's patent telemotor. Come up here and yeah, and be like, I am steering this ship. Come back here. We get stopped by an invisible wall, but that's alright. If we come around here, we can see the length of the boat deck. Over here to the bridge wing. Look out. Look upon the bow of the ship. There's the mast. Present again, thankfully. Yeah. Push through to the bridge. And I've seen one of these in person. They're huge. And I'm not sure exactly which one it was, but I have seen one of them. And this is what it looks like today. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I'm not going to give out too much information on this area, but I will say that these things are shutters. They can be taken out and put up here and stuff for like bad weather or whatnot, whatever reason they would need these shutters for, but yeah. And this is like a rudimentary compass. Kind of get your bearings and stuff. Step up on this ledge, look out. Yeah, nice little visual there. That's almost it. We are almost at the end of this mega demo. Long video. I hope you have stuck with it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I haven't made a fool of myself. I hope I haven't given off wrong information or annoyed anybody or whatever. But yeah, we're coming to the end. There's just a couple more things to show you with this demo. So I'm going to head down to E-Deck and we're going to show you... Yeah, I'm going to show you some stuff there. Alright, here we are on E-Deck. And now we're going to go through this door. And this is Scotland Road. Now, Scotland Road was a passageway that some crew and third-class passengers would travel. It goes almost the entire length of the ship. You can pretty much, yeah, I mean, you pretty much can access from bow to stern from Scotland Road if you know where to go. This is a bathroom which is blocked off by an invisible wall. Kind of ominous because there's not a lot of light in here, but realistic. I mean, hey. If we come over here, this is an area that used to be blocked off by an invisible wall, but no more. And I believe this area was called a glory hole. Yes, I know. Very militant. This is like very akin to what you would see in like a military barracks. I should know. I've spent 5 years in them. Even down to the weird like burgundy colored floor linoleum. Yeah, very militant. But hey, if it works, it works. So let's go ahead and move on out. Continue moving forward. There's an open door there. We might ignore that for just a second and keep pushing forward. This is a third-class area. Over in this area, we've got some cabin spaces. And I just wanted to reiterate, when the game is finally fully finished, every single one of these doors is going to be available. You can go literally anywhere you want on Titanic, which is it blows my mind. This over here is a vent that leads down to the squash court, and I don't know if my game capture is picking it up, but in the demo you can hear the ghosts basically playing squash or wall ball or whatever. cargo hatch over here. I believe one of these rooms might actually be this one right here, the one directly in front of me. I believe one of these is the Master at Arms room, office room thing. Pushing forward, we've got cargo hatch number 2 there. This is inaccessible, which is fine with me because that's terrifying. It's creepy. More cabin spaces, and pushing upwards, we come to the 3rd class open space. This is kind of, I mean, basically a general room, kind of like a whatever you want to do in here room. Not a bad place to hang out. I like it. It's actually really cozy. I would be here if I was 3rd class passenger. I mean, this is a cool space to me. If we look up these stairs here, we can't go up them because there's invisible wall, but see those double doors up there and that door and stuff? Those lead to the well deck. We are, well, right now we're underneath the forecastle, but over here, we're directly underneath the well deck. And cargo hatches number 1 and number 2. Oh no, I'm sorry. Wow, what am I saying? 2 and 3, right? 'Cause cargo hatch number 1 is in front of the mast. So hey, I'm an idiot. So yeah. 2 and 3, and the one I mentioned back there is cargo hatch number 4, right? No. Wait. Oh my god. Yeah. This is still number 2. Okay. Hey. You know what? I never claimed to be an expert. I'm an idiot, as Mr. Spamos would say. Yeah. But I'm glad I sorted that out. So, hey, before I make a fool of myself anymore, let's go ahead and move back down to Scotland Road and push further aft. Let's stop and actually turn here. We come into this area, the boiler room area. That is basically the casings, the beginning of the funnel. This ladder here, in previous demos, you used to like just fly up them, but now they've actually made it so you can, you can quickly sprint up them. But they've slightly fixed it. Anyway, you can look up, see through that grate. That grate has an actual name, but I don't remember the name of it. But you can kind of get a glimpse of the smokestack up there and stuff. And this door here used to be open, and you used to see Shadow Dude through there, but no more. He is gone. As is the picture of Mr. Spamels. He's another YouTuber if you don't know who he is. And he has done a bunch of videos about Titanic on his channel. Go check him out. Lots of good information over there and stuff. He is not a Titanic channel though, so don't think that he is. Just because he loves the ship and stuff doesn't mean he's a specific Titanic channel. But we can move further down into the boiler room, come down this ladder, and this is exclusive to this demo. This ladder here is now accessible. It used to not be. It used to be the only you can use the ladder over there, but now we can come down here and be on this side of the boiler room. And now we can stick our face directly into this and scorch our skin off. These guys are absolutely massive, by the way. At the Titanic Museum, they've got replicas. Here's a picture of what they look like, or would have looked like. Some coal deposits here and here. But one thing that's new to this demo, we can actually come through here into the fireman passage. I know it has a different name, but that's what I'm calling it. Very cool to see. Over here, another coal deposit. There used to be the Rubaiyat, I believe is what it's called, in Adventure Out of Time, and also Demo 3. They added it in here as a little Easter egg. They have references to stuff all over the place, and they did say, I don't know if this is true or not anymore, but they did say that they were going to include references to Cameron's Titanic here and there. I don't know what that entails, but we'll see. We shall see. We are pushing aft now through Scotland Road, and we're going to come to this stairway, and this stairway leads down to the 3rd class dining saloon. Largely unchanged from Demo 3 to Demo 4, however, the lighting has been significantly improved. I'll actually throw up a screenshot right now of what it used to look like, and you can see that you can see just how different it is. So yeah, massive improvements to the lighting and stuff. 3rd class dining saloon, while not the nicest on the ship, it is the biggest on the ship. which makes sense only because, I mean, well, in my mind it makes sense because, you know, third-class tickets were cheaper, more affordable, so you would have more third-class passengers on board, right? Right? Let's move up and continue going aft. Now, in Demo 3, you could come this far, but you were stopped right before this watertight door here. Look at that light coming through that porthole there. My God, it is gorgeous, man. I'm sorry, I don't even care at this point. I don't care. I'm gonna say this is beautiful. Yeah, but now we can push on through to the other side. Blah, 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 blah. If we come over here, kind of looks like there's nothing, but if we ignore this little section of wall here, we come to the engineer's mess. This is where they would come to eat and junk and stuff. Some pictures on the wall. I believe these little red pictures that you see everywhere, I believe those are just placeholders, like they're going to put stuff there. For now, they've got Dracula. And we can push back a little bit more. Boop. By the way, I love that. Yeah, I have to do it. You know? Boop. A couple times when I come through, just because I love the little animations. Boop. I'm an idiot. Yeah, pushing back more. We've got just more cabin spaces. Boop. This little area here is pretty cool. You've got this little room here. Oh, forgive me if I get this wrong. I believe this is the master steward's cabin. And it also doubled as an office of sorts. So, you know, you can sit here and be like, yes, what do you want? I don't care. Blah, 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 blah. But yeah, it's got the half door and stuff. So. I don't remember. I do know that this hallway right here, do you remember that iron gate that we passed at the very, very top of this video? I passed that iron gate to go down to like the squash court and the mailroom and stuff. Well, this hallway right here leads to that. Well, I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. If we come back here, just more cabins. Cabins. Second class purser's office. Come back further still. This is a little area. Cargo hatch above and below. These beams here were removable, and it would be kind of neat to sit here and watch cargo being passed up and or down. Not much more to see back here, so let's go ahead and come through here. Just roughly the same, you know, just cabins back here. Some urinals over here. Kidding. Did I go up? Have I gone up yet? Yeah, I've shown this off area. Yeah, whatever. So we'll come down, because I don't think I came down at first. If we come down here to the bottom of this stairwell, you've got some some pretty rough texture tearing. And some missing bit of the banister here, but that's okay. Pre-alpha, man, pre-alpha. Look, anybody who's arguing over the quality of this is just, come on. Like, seriously, ease up. It's pre-alpha. It was never supposed to be seen by anybody, like, and it's free. Like, stop complaining. Stop complaining, come over here and look up. Because this is cool. Yeah. Apparently it's 3 o'clock. Apparently it's 3 o'clock my time. So yeah, just more cabins back here. Nothing that special. Nothing to see. But I have news. I don't know if it's good news or bad news, but we have reached the end of this video. We've reached the end of the demo. There's literally nothing else that I can show you except for this true nightmare that's going on here. Are you... Oh man, that was... Okay. Wow. But yeah, so I think we've seen everything that we can possibly see for this demo. Again, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you have found some stuff informative. I hope you have found me entertaining. If you haven't, I understand. Oh, by the way, real quick before I end this, I've seen one of these guys in person. I'm gonna throw up a picture of one of those real quick, just for comparison. But yeah, pretty cool to see. if you guys want, I'll do a part 2 and I'll come through and kind of just not do it as in-depth as this was, but I'll come through and show you these areas at night because they did something really cool with the dome at night that I will not show off in this video, but if you want me to, I will in a second part. But for now, I'm going to come back down to D-Deck where everything started. I'm going to end this video here by saying thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, leave me a like. All of the standard YouTube outro tropes, bell, subscribe, like, I don't know. That's it for now. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.